Hi, Cosmic Moonsprout here. This is just me going over why I got into Genshin and my general thoughts over the state of how I play now and what fun I find. So I never played a gacha before, and I heard about this game as a Breath of the Wild clone, like Nintendo Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I never really gave it a chance, even though like my friends were telling me to play it for months. So as a great friend, I ignored them because I wasn't really looking for a new game. But eventually I finally realized that I should probably listen to my friends, so I gave the game a try. And just a quick shout out to Kaya and Lynette. They were the staples of my team for so long, and max friendship characters. You won't be forgotten, even though I don't use you as often. I'm sorry. So when I got into the game, since I was told it was a Breath of the Wild, but you pull for characters, I kind of played it like Breath of the Wild. So I tried to survive, I tried to cook Paimon, but even though she is apparently emergency food, I couldn't cook her, so I had to survive on the natural wildlife. And I spent an embarrassing amount of time in the starting area before you get into the Mondstadt city, fighting enemies, collecting fruit, getting animal meat, etc., and trying to level up the Traveler just by defeating enemies. What a young fool I was, so naive. And so clearly not playing the game the most intended way, I got bored and stopped playing for a while. And then when I got back into it, I finally played the story and learned that the game is, not Breath of the Wild, it's Genshin Impact. I should have known when I, saw the title screen. But when I took another step into it, I was honestly taken back by the game and the world, exploring, using the level up books this time, not just defeating enemies, to level my characters. But I didn't really mess with the pulling gacha system outside of whatever standard pulls. And when I finally did, I did not understand the 50-50 limited banner system. And I thought if you didn't get one of the limited characters, you would get the other one. So when I was pulling on a banner for Xianyun, I got really confused when I got Mizuki and not the other character that was on the banner. So I don't know what you're doing here. But then I finally understood that, oh, that's what the 50-50 is. Wow, I'm very naive. So, and then since this was my first gacha game, I was pretty unaware of the standard FOMO and other practices that the companies use to kind of keep you trapped, I guess, so to speak, in. But looking back, I feel like the most fun I had were those first few months where I just played the game for fun and I was naive to all these other things. So I took my time, explored, did quests, but at some point something changed. The dailies felt like more of a drag. I found myself spamming the A button like no other, trying to get through dialogue that just seemed like it was slogging. And I felt less enjoyment after each time I played a session. And after a while, I took a step back and thought, why am I logging in so often if I'm not having fun? I don't have to do this. No one's making me do this. It's just a game, right? So I stopped playing for a few weeks and reflected about what made me like the game in the first place and what kept me coming back those first months. Exploring with my favorite characters, getting to know the new characters, and watching my teams slowly get stronger and stronger as I took on various enemies and bosses and raised my world level. That's what really seemed to help. When I finally logged back in, I changed how I played. I tried to not necessarily recapture the same magic, but I understood what made the game fun and what I wasn't really enjoying that I was doing now. So I stopped caring as much about all of the meta characters and farming for primo gems to try to get everyone, all of these characters that they really kind of want you to get now to fully be able to clear things sometimes. And I saved up for characters that I liked and wanted to just be their friend instead of you're meta, I need you on my team. More of you're a cool character, I would like you on my team. And I came to an understanding that these kind of games function and profit from the FOMO and other things, and I didn't have to play that way. It was still my choice to play. And, I don't need to clear Spiral Abyss every session, floor 12. I don't need to do all this Stygian Onslaught in-game content if I don't want to. Although power creep doesn't help, I would personally rather take my 1.0 release level 90 Lisa and see how far I can go in the Spiral Abyss instead of just using stronger characters. Not that I don't like stronger characters. Skirk, Escoffier, Columbina, and Lauma are some of my favorite more recent characters, not because they're so strong, just because I like their characters in the story, and I just happen to like them as characters. And so this ramble was more of a PSA to those who feel obligated to play every day or log in every day. You don't have to force yourself. I mean, yeah, you might miss your dailies or two, but it might be worth taking a step back and asking, will this lead to me having more fun? Logging in angrily every day for 2 minutes? Are those 2 minutes of unenjoyment worth it? I don't know. It differs for everyone. But when I find that spark, revising a character's build, celebrating a character's birthday, exploring new areas, just to name a few, the game is more fun. It's okay to take a break sometimes. It's, I can give my feedback, but at the end of the day, Genshin will go on with or without me. So it's okay to take a break. But what got you into this game? And do you still play it the same way that you did when you first started? Do you still enjoy it? Or are you more playing it differently? You find different satisfaction in your different play styles? Share your experience in the comments. There's other topics that I wanted to go more in-depth into that I do have, I guess, not strong opinions, but I guess strong, but in a not angry, but just strong. Changes in character design, both the actual physical design and gameplay wise, and just exploration changes that I feel like I've noticed as the regions have gone on. But that'll be it for me for now. So thanks for listening, and talk to you soon. Moonsprout out.